Good morning. Horror on the highway. 12 cars and 3 semis collide, killing 3 people.
Now that former VP Joe Biden has declared he's running for president, the political world is racing to react.
And in other news, if you want to cut down on some carbon emissions, you might want to cut back on the carbs, especially if you're traveling by air.
Well, good morning, everybody. This is a live look at Rio de Janeiro this morning in South America. Looks like a pretty calm day there. We've got some fast-moving weather headed our way, especially toward the Nature Coast. We'll check in with Grant in just a few minutes.
Good morning, beautiful people. I'm Jabari Thomas.
Thanks for waking up with us here on Brightside. I'm Allison Croft.
And I'm Rob Finnerty. It is Friday, April the 26th. We're going to get you in the know in just a minute. But first, let's get a check on traffic and weather. Grant, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, let's get a check on those storms moving into the Nature Coast right now. A lot of lightning with that. If you're waking up in Crystal River or looking out to the west, you're probably seeing a lot of that thunder or hearing the thunder, seeing the lightning. Might get some gusty winds as well. Rain just beginning to move into Crystal River, but heavier rain, gusty winds, and frequent lightning all within that embedded cell that's currently tracking to the east at around 45 miles per hour. Moving pretty quickly to the east. I think it arrives in Crystal River around 5:20. The rest of us in the immediate Bay Area will still see some showers and storms more likely through the middle of the day. After around 3 or 4 o'clock, the rain clears out, the clouds follow suit. We've got a great evening on tap for us later on this evening. The weekend looks even better. Forecast on that just coming up in a few minutes. Laura, good morning.
Right in that area where you're watching that rain coming through, we have a crash there. This is on the Suncoast Parkway in Homosassa, right at Halls River Road. We are seeing delays in both directions in that area, so heads up if you're heading in that direction. All that green you see on the map, that is rain. So we're going to keep an eye on this one for you. Suncoast Parkway, that's a pretty major route if you're making that north and southbound drive. Tampa, we also have a crash at Orient and Hillsborough, but I think that one's pretty close to clearing, so I'm not seeing major delays right now.
We want to make the most of the time that you have with us this morning, even if that's just a couple of minutes.
So let's get you in the know, and let's do it right now. We start with President Trump, who wasted no time attacking the new frontrunner for the 2020 Democratic presidential nomination. Former Vice President Joe Biden entered the already crowded field on Thursday.
And he got right on the campaign trail. He was eating some pizza and greeting some voters. Now, as for the president's thoughts about the Democratic challengers.
I've known Joe over the years. He's not the brightest light bulb in the group.
If we give Donald Trump 8 years in the White House, he will forever and fundamentally alter the character of this nation.
8 women recently have come forward to say interactions with Biden made them feel uncomfortable. Biden's campaign confirmed to CBS News Thursday that he spoke with Anita Hill about his handling of her harassment accusations against Clarence Thomas during his Supreme Court confirmation hearings in 1991. But Hill told the New York Times she did not characterize his words as an apology.
All right, let's move on to that crash right now that killed at least 3 people in the state of Colorado.
12 cars and 3 semi-trucks and this massive fireball. That smoke was seen from miles away on Thursday evening. Right now, it looks like one of the trucks slammed into just some slow-moving traffic. That investigation is continuing this morning. One firefighter was hurt while responding to this crash.
So sad. To Orlando now, where a 10-year-old boy is dead after he was hit by a semi near an elementary school. State troopers say Kevin Pope was on his bicycle when he was hit about a half-mile away from the school. A parent witnessed the whole thing.
When I look at him, it's like I'm looking at my son. You know, the little boy is laying there lifeless, and they're trying to pump life back into him.
Oh,
My goodness.
wow. Witnesses told FHP that the boy was crossing in the crosswalk and the semi was turning right when the middle part of the trailer hit the boy. Troopers have yet to find that semi. They're not sure if the driver of the trailer knows he hit someone. All right, to South Florida now, where a former police officer was sentenced to 25 years in prison for manslaughter and attempted murder.
Numan Raja was in court when a judge handed down that sentence. He killed a man during a traffic stop on the side of I-95 in 2015, and Raja claimed that he was standing his ground.
Numan Raja has never apologized for the injustice done to our son.
Yep.
He has not uttered a word. We know that the Raja family didn't pull that trigger, and we do pray for them. We feel their pain, but we're still grieving because Corey would not walk back to us.
The victim, Corey Jones, had just left a performance he played in when his car broke down in Palm Beach Gardens. A jury found Raja guilty last month. Not in Tallahassee, the State House approved a measure yesterday allowing guns in religious institutions like religious schools.
Yeah, the bill will allow people in churches, synagogues, and other religious institutions to carry a firearm on property. Currently, people who are licensed to carry can bring their guns to church, but because there are schools attached to a lot of these churches, they're considered violations right now. The bill is headed to the Senate. We'll keep a close eye on that. And speaking of guns, today President Trump will address the largest gun rights group in the entire country. We're talking about the NRA. Vice President Mike Pence is also expected to address the group at their annual convention in Indianapolis. We've also got an update this morning on the Sri Lankan Easter bombings.
And authorities there say that the suspected leader of those attacks died in one of the hotel bombings that day. The series of attacks killed more than 350 people, but the bombing at the Shangri-La Hotel in Colombo killed 250. Police identify the leader as Mohammed Zafran.
Yeah, apparently he was the leader of a local militant group there. Back here in Florida, Robert Kraft's attorneys will once again ask the court to throw the video evidence that police say shows him paying for sex at the now famous Orchids of Asia Day Spa.
Yeah, attorneys for the New England Patriots owner say that police violated Kraft's constitutional rights when they installed those cameras in the spa back in January. Prosecutors say that Kraft has no expectation of privacy outside of his home. Kraft has pleaded not guilty against those charges.
Human trafficking in Florida has been a problem for decades now, and the State House just passed a bill to teach people how to spot it and the effects it can have in public schools. Right now, 21 school districts teach about it in health class, but sponsors say classes in more schools could save lives. The bill is now headed to the state Senate.
The measles infection has now hit Tampa Bay. The health department confirmed a case in Pinellas County. The agency says that case involves a 72-year-old man who traveled to Asia. The department is not sure where in the Bay Area, though, people might have been exposed.
All right, thanks, y'all. And it's time for those Did You Hear About stories that you want to know about. So, in other news, a family in California, all right, they got a few hundred unexpected visitors in their backyard. A flock of sheep that squeezed through their open fence.
And I feel a little bit irresponsible for leaving the gate open knowing that there was livestock out back, but like I said, they were so skittish. I just didn't think it was even possible.
Sheep we use a lot on the grasslands, and then the goats also used for a lot of the underbrush. They'll eat poison oak, they'll eat the blackberries, they'll eat anything.
Yeah, and then this has happened in the city of Lincoln. They said the animals are an effort by the city to help prevent wildfires. They have about 5,200 sheep and 600 goats. And guess how they scared these goats off from their backyard? A tambourine.
That's how they got rid of them?
Yes.
Oh, that thing.
Well,
Yeah, okay.
look at them all. That's crazy.
Yeah. They're very skittish, aren't they?
Yeah, they
They really are.
I love sheep. I want a sheep.
They're kind of wusses.
Can't you just see me
Is that a word?
in my
It is a
apartment
word.
on the balcony with a sheep out there?
I could see you with a yeah.
Yeah, I would be that guy.
Yeah.
I would be that guy because I'm
comfort sheep.
strange. All right, well, tell me if this sounds like an invasion of privacy to you. What if before you got onto your flight, okay, and you had to step on a scale? Now, to some, it may sound, pretty unnecessary, but listen to this before you judge. Company Fuel Matrix, now they suggest it could do a world of good for the environment. Reason being, if airlines knew how much fuel or how much weight they were carrying, they would calculate, exactly how much fuel they would need. So they say it would save fuel and reduce carbon emissions.
So basically, they wouldn't have to gas up the plane as much if they knew precisely how much load they were
No
carrying.
way. Can
Right,
you
but-
imagine walking up and getting weighed?
But
as
not
you're
only
getting on
that,
the plane?
Don't forget, this is all about how they market it. Like, they're not going to be like, okay, whoa, 250 in the back, in the back. Next up, what are you, 120?
yeah.
Okay, right up
And
front.
then what
right
if
here,
you're
right here,
what
right
if they're
here,
like,
right?
you're a little heavy today.
Right,
You can't.
they're like, oh, hey,
But
we
you
got a
know-
326, everybody. To the left, it's not going to be like that. Like, it's not going to be like cattle call when you were rocking the plane, right? You walk on and it's
That's how you're picturing it, though.
Tell the number.
But they do. Like the
194.
luggage thing,
Yes,
yeah.
all right.
But they do actually, I don't know how they do this, but if you're too big, they charge you for an extra seat.
Yeah,
So I wonder
yeah.
if they're going to throw that in there with that.
Yeah.
I wonder who's going to have that job to say,
We'll keep an eye on it.
you're a
This is
little
not
bit too
something-
big.
yeah.
We're going to have to
Right.
let
It's
you
not
do
going to be
two
that
seats.
intrusive. I think they're going to do it in
Yeah.
a more dignified way.
Okay.
I hope.
Yeah. Okay. Well, today's kids have so many tools to help them navigate through school. They have tablets, laptops, and now virtual reality. Check this out. A high school in Indiana is using a new method to help students tackle their fear of public speaking. Now, the speech teacher, Mark Arnold, came up with this idea, and this new device that they're using helps students make eye contact, and it scores them on words per minute and other things like that. And they even incorporate distractions like coughing or phone buzzing.
So they do this as like a practice, and then they go to class and they have to do it in front of students.
Exactly. Well, yeah, basically. So they practice in this virtual hub thing, and they have all these distractions. I don't know if you guys ever worn these. They're really, really cool. And so they can like practice through that.
I think this is a great thing because a lot of people, you know, they say that one of the greatest fears, the greatest fear among people that were surveyed in a study was public speaking. Number 2 was death. Meaning, if you're at a funeral, you'd rather be in the casket than giving the eulogy.
I feel like that sometimes. That's why I do TV. So I ain't got to look at everybody all at one time.
Except for us who are just sitting here staring at you.
Javari.
But if you put me in front of a crowd and people that have seen me speak in public, like my knees are shaking.
Really?
Yes.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, but I still get out there and I do my thing.
Still got to do it.
But I'm still nervous.
Yeah, it's still a lot of fun. Okay, so some sing, some dance, some prefer art. One veteran's form of therapy isn't just helping him feel better, it is amazing everyone around him.